Alright, hey class. Obviously I wasn't able to make it in today, so I'm doing my portion of this presentation via the webcam here. So obviously my other teammates here have been talking about search and seizure. Basically what I'm going to be talking about is the requirements regarding borders and inspections, or the agricultural stops that we know in California. So I'm going to go ahead and start this presentation off with a short video. I'm going to cut little snippets out of it that we're going to be talking about it afterwards, but here's a short video for you all to watch, and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
Where are you coming from?
You don't answer questions.
What's that? How you doing?
We'd like to go. Yeah, we're gonna go.
Where you're gonna go?
Yeah.
This is just an agricultural inspection. I'm wondering where you're traveling from.
It's none of your business.
None of my business?
Yeah.
Hey Stacy, can I get your help out here, please?
I'd like to keep driving.
I actually need to know if you have any agricultural articles on board.
No, you don't.
I do.
No.
It's my job.
We're gonna drive. We're gonna keep driving.
No.
Thank you.
See, you're free to go. Your vehicle, no, your vehicle needs to stay here.
No. I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
He's refusing inspection.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep driving.
If you keep driving, I will contact the authorities and have them bring you to the facility. We do need to conduct an inspection of the vehicle.
No, you don't.
Sorry.
No,
I can't hear you with the window open. So.
Okay, so
This is a potential.
do you have a warrant?
Agriculture.
Do you have a warrant? Because you're not inspecting anything without a warrant.
Okay.
Do you have a warrant?
I don't need a warrant.
Yes, you do. Do you know the Fourth Amendment?
There is no search here. This is
Then you're not going to inspect.
Well, you're speaking of an amendment that specifies searching.
So we're clear on that.
Well, as I said, I have other duties to attend to, so I'm going to go ahead and attend to them. You'd like to wait here for the highway patrol, or you can wait in the parking lot. If you
I'm not
proceed
waiting
without
anywhere.
inspection, then we'll go ahead and call and have them.
I think you've already called.
I'm going to go ahead and take care of my other.
Okay, then we're going to go. Thank you.
Then we'll go ahead and have them.
Okay.
You can't see his lights either. They're in the back. Look at that. Look at the camera. You'll see. I don't know. He has lights on, but I don't. And now he has lights.
Yeah,
on.
now he's got his lights on.
Finally. Okay. Well, he looks like he's a marked vehicle.
Let me see your ID.
No, thank you. I haven't violated any laws
Yeah,
here.
actually you have, because
No, I actually
listen, the
haven't.
ag station, you violated the Food and Agricultural Code by not.
No.
You either have to go back out of state,
No.
or you have to be. Okay.
I actually live in the
That's
state.
fine. Cherokee 109 for requesting additional units.
What's your name?
Officer McDonald.
Officer
Okay.
McDonald.
Why don't you just get out? We'll talk about it. We can straighten this out, and you're on the way.
Actually, I don't need to get out of my vehicle. You can hear
Well,
me.
you kind of do, because I'm telling you to. Yeah.
No. Do you have a warrant?
Okay, I'll be
Do
back.
you have probable cause?
Don't leave, okay?
Oh, I'm not leaving.
Okay. Step out of the car and with your ID, or we're gonna have to force entry, and it's not gonna be nice.
But you don't have a warrant.
You broke the law at
I
the
didn't
ag
break any
station.
law.
You did.
I did. What law did I break?
You broke the law at the ag station.
What law?
The California Food and Agriculture Code.
Okay, do they trump the Constitution?
Come out, get a ticket for the agricultural violation, and you're on your way. Or you're gonna be going to jail tonight. What's your choice?
So they have a right to search my vehicle
No.
without a warrant?
No. Or you can refuse the search and
I
go
did
back
refuse.
and go back to Nevada.
I live in
I
California.
get it. You can refuse the search, but you have to go back to Nevada.
Sir,
Do you have a warrant?
We don't need a warrant. You're in violation of the law.
I'm not in violation of the law.
Okay, make your choice.
I have the Fourth Amendment right here.
Make your choice.
What was the original stop for? Running the bug? Not stopping the stop sign?
No, I stopped.
And he was there for a while.
I filmed it.
Left. So
No,
you didn't refuse an inspection. You don't have to be inspected. You can go back to Nevada and sign a piece of paper. And it's not a search. It's an inspection.
We don't want to search you.
We don't want to search. I want you to sign a ticket right now, and that's it, and you're on your way.
then give me the ticket.
I need your license, registration, and insurance.
A ticket for violating the ag
I'm gonna write you
inspection?
a section for the Food and Ag Code for violating that section, and then you can go to court on it. Believe me, I want to do it this way. I don't want to break a window. I don't have to take the kid.
But I'd like to be free from all these searches. I'd like to be free to just go out.
Nobody's searching anything. I will not search the vehicle. Just hand me that stuff.
She's threatened to search my vehicle. I said no, I don't want to be searched.
If you're under arrest, we're going to inventory the vehicle.
You need probable cause.
We don't. You're told to. Stop.
There's a food and agriculture that you went through.
Do they trump the Constitution?
I'm giving you one more chance, and this is it, and I'm breaking your window. That's all there is to it.
Well, you're going to violate my rights then.
Then I'm violating your rights. If that's what you think I'm doing, I'm not going to get in an argument back and forth with you.
You guys took an oath to defend the Constitution.
I know.
Okay, I'll film it.
I understand.
Don't touch it.
Okay, so I actually watched this video several weeks ago, and before we actually even started this class, it was kind of interesting to me, and it caught my attention because I was actually curious by what legislation gives the officers the authority to conduct these inspections that could be considered a violation of one's Fourth Amendment rights. And so I started doing my own research into it, and I found that, I looked into some of the officers were talking about was the California Federal and Agricultural Codes, and it was actually put into effect in 1967. And you wonder, why was this law put into effect? And I started looking into that too. And it was one of the exclusionary rules, which we learned about in this class. And the issue was basically it's safety over an individual's rights, which has to do with a lot of the exclusionary rules that take effect. And it basically, you have to understand that California is the 5th largest agricultural distributor to America. And, we have a lot of, basically the searches are conducted for looking for any kind of pesticides or anything like that. There's actually a whole list of different things they're supposed to be looking for, but basically they're looking for anything that can cause an agricultural epidemic within our country, which we had before. And one of the examples was in 1989, we had the California medfly attack. And we lost tons of crops. It was actually $40 million worth of crops, and we actually spent up to it was over $60 million on the eradication efforts to get rid of this epidemic. And and this was just something that came into the California state and caused this huge thing. It was actually first seen in Florida years earlier than that. So that was the reason that they established these checkpoints, was to look for any kind of pesticides or anything like that that could cause an agricultural, epidemic in our country, which, obviously that's a huge problem. So basically, this thing was put into effect as, basically you lose your rights at these checkpoints for the betterment of the country, which is kind of important. And you have to look into, it got even bigger in post 9/11. Now you have agro-terrorist attacks. Basically, you can have a terrorist come in there and submit some kind of a pesticide or something like that can affect our agricultural, and you have millions of dollars worth of loss to our country and people starving and stuff like that. So obviously that's a huge issue. Also, it's the same kind of concept for our border inspections and practices as well. There's also codes and policies in place for those, and they're looking for the whole nother list of things, but illegal immigrants, weapons, drugs, and a lot of other things that are entering the country, which is obviously going to cause a lot of problems within our country, which is the reason why these laws and stuff are put into place, that you lose the right for your Fourth Amendment rights to refuse inspection, because it's the betterment of the country to make sure these things don't enter into our country or that state that could cause epidemics or cause issues. So basically it's the safety of the nation trumps the individual's rights against searches. That's basically what it comes down, and that's what has to do with a lot of these exclusionary rules. But every exclusionary rule must go through a process before being approved by the government. So there's not just the government says, oh well, we're allowed to do this now, but it has to go through the different levels of the government before it's being enacted. So these laws are also they're put into place for a reason. So you have to understand that if your basically, lasting thoughts here is, if you're a constitutionalist, you need to understand not only your own individual rights that are governed by the Bill of Rights, but also the rules and policies and laws that are put in place, and the reason they're put in place, right? So basically, these exclusionary rules are, there's a reason for them, and there's a reason why your rights are being basically, in their eyes, being violated. So, and usually it's for the safety of a mass majority, or the officer being arresting them or whatever. But there's also, on the officer side of it, which you didn't see too much of, and I think, knowledge is basically power on both sides of this issue. But for the officers, you need to be able to articulate these laws and policies and everything, but to the people expected to abide by them. If in this situation, had the officer been able to articulate, the laws and everything that the agricultural code governed, and the reason why they were put into place, might have had a different turn on this constitutionalist, and maybe the situation would have ended differently. Who knows? But at least you would, on camera, you're going to sound, intelligent, and so basically it comes down to his knowledge is basically power. So that's basically my portion of this presentation, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to my teammates, and they'll go ahead and finish up and close out. See y'all next week.